Richard, good morning and welcome.
Thank you very much.
You're a hard man to find.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I'm always here.
I've been chasing you since December.
December is not a good month to chase.
It's not a good month. Okay.
December is for family and Christmas and those things.
Unwinding.
Unwinding,
okay.
Yes.
Well,
anyway.
With that out of the way, I'm sure now you have a clear mind and a lot of motivation to attack the new year.
Definitely.
But let's start from the elections that you won and the first 8 months. Yeah. How would you describe the first months that you've had in charge as president of the GOC?
Interesting. I mean, of course, I was happy to have won, and I had we came with a lot of vim because there's lots of things we wanted to do. So we've tried to do quite a number of things that we set out to do. But of course, with these things, there are always challenges along the way. And each year you can improve on things. But if I have to say that, it's been a very good year, and it's been very interesting as well.
When you say you've achieved a number of the things you set out to do, what are those achievements?
One, we set out to bring more unity among the federations and then the leaders of the federations. And I think to a large extent we have done that. Two, we set out to draw a strategic plan. We have done that. We've set out to focus more on athletes. We have done that. To go for competitions, we've done that. Last year we had the African School Games, we had the African Youth Games, we had Anuka Zone 3 Games, and we are at all these games and we won good medals for that matter. So in those areas, we've done well.
What has been the main challenge in the first year for you?
The main challenge really is that some of the things we want to do, we need to, for instance, Amasama. It's been on the drawing board for several years now. I mean, I don't know whether you know, but that property was acquired by Mr. B.T. Baba when he was president of the Olympic Committee. That was 2010, thereabouts. So, and we still not developed it fully as we should. So it's something that we need to work at. The important thing is that I think that sometimes the impression has been given as if we are going to put up an Olympic-sized stadium at Amasama or something, but that's not it. It's an Olymp Africa project. And Olymp Africa is basically a community project where the ANOCA, that's the Association of National Olympic Committees of Africa, representing the IOC, supports a National Olympic Committee to put up a facility in a local community, which will be accessible to the community as a sporting facility and education hub, so that they come there and learn all kinds of things there. So that is the whole idea. So if we have unfortunately not been able to do it, and that's something which I think is important that we do, and that God willing we'll start something on it this year.
Have you done anything in that regard about moving it from just conceptualization stage to putting something there?
Yes, we have. But some of our people had not even gone to so today I took the whole board to the place. We realized the size of the land and what we can do there. We put a committee in place to put up. So we have a committee has brought a plan, structure. We've gone to the ASL to cost it, to look at the plan, see how it will work. There's some money. We are trying to see how we can get money because we need some support to be able to do it. Olymp Africa gave us $100,000, and they used part of it to do a few things on the property. And we need to, the agreement, in fact, with Olymp Africa was that we're supposed to provide counterpart funding. So we have to provide that to be able to start the project and finish it.
So the $100,000 from Olymp Africa is the only money that was available at the time you took office for that project?
Specifically for that project, yes. Specifically for that project, yes. Even then, a part of that has already been utilized to put up some structures on the land. So
there is nothing like a $560,000 fund for
Olymp Africa? No, there's nothing like that. Nothing like that. Not at all.
Let's talk about the specifics of it and how much it will cost. Because you said you've spoken to AESL for the costing aspect. So
yeah, they are yet to give us
they have to cost it for you.
Yes.
what are you looking to build? Because you said a lot of things that at a point I lost track of you.
Okay.
What are you looking to build on that land?
One, a multipurpose hall, which can
multipurpose
hall, and not the hall like you have in Botima. No, a simple one, which can be used by all the combat sports, for instance. You want it can be used by volleyball, basketball, that kind of table tennis, badminton, all those.
So it's a facility for indoor games.
That's one of the things you could, but there's enough space to also have some outdoor games.
Okay.
At the moment, there's a basketball court there. There's a tennis court there as well, as I speak to you.
So as we speak, how many, because I want us to put specifics to,
yeah.
Because now you have moved from just having it on paper to actually setting the wheels in motion. Which of the disciplines have you agreed that are going to have facilities there?
Proposals have been made for some disciplines. Okay. The agreement is not yet in place. And some of the disciplines that obviously football, athletics, volleyball, basketball, the combat sports, judo, taekwondo, karate. Basically, these are the main ones that will.
So when you say the football, you are...
There's a football pitch there.
Okay.
There's a football pitch.
With stands?
No stands at all.
Okay.
It's just a pitch. At the moment, the local community, they just play soccer on it and train.
Okay. All right. And what is the next step for this project? Because I'm sure you have timelines with which you're working, especially with this phase of the whole AESL
yes.
conversation.
Yes. By the middle of this year, we'll have the AESL concept full, the drawings and everything. And then we will know exactly how much it's going to cost us. And then we will see how we are going to... Already, we are talking to partners to see how we can get money, but they need some more information to be able to determine whether they are prepared to help us. So by the middle of this year, if you talk to me, I should be able to give you more information about this thing.
Last year, I think when you spoke to JBC, you mentioned that Anoka had cleared its arrears to you, when I say you, GOC,
yeah.
for about 3 years. And as of April last year, they had paid $375,000
yeah.
into your accounts. What projects did that money fund?
That money was meant for support federations, competitions, and athletes. That's basically it. So last year, for instance, we supported federations to the tune of about $180 thereabouts, $1,000 federations for various activities, some competitions, some training, some coaching, whatever, different things. So so in fact, for that, with respect of that specific amount, about 200,000 is already gone for other things. But we still got some money which we are going to use this year as well to support other federations.
So if you look at the year in total, how much did you get from Anoka?
We get normally what we get an administrative grant, which is, I think it's 40,000. That's purely for administration. And then we're entitled to we can access $125,000 from Anoka. That's what we get.
Okay. So what level of support do you also get from IOC?
IOC, the same, basically.
It's the same amounts.
But with the IOC, there are various programs. You must apply either for coaching, for capacity building, generally, there's a capacity building, to support competitions. For instance, there's always this Olympic scholarship every cycle, every Olympic cycle. So we applied and we got 12 of our athletes on the Olympic scholarship. Mainly athletics, we are the relay team. All of them are on scholarship. Saminu, Azamati, Joe Paul, and Fuseni, they are all on scholarship. Then we have one weightlifting, Winifred. Then we have one judoka, and then one taekwondo lady. The judo lady and the taekwondo lady, we managed to get them into training camps. So what will happen is that they will not be here. They will go. The judo will go to, I think, France, and then the taekwondo lady will be in Germany. So For the judo ladies is expected to leave sometime next week. They'll be in training camp for the next few years, just training, because in the camp they have support, technical support, medical support and everything. So the idea is to get them to qualify for the Olympic Games and then do well at the Games.
I was asking about all of these monies because often the complaint has been how the GOC is under-resourced and doesn't have the capacity to execute a lot of its programs. For this year, what have you set out to do?
This year, we have the Commonwealth Games. We have the Youth Olympics. So this year, we need to prepare at least for these two competitions. Now, our plan is to start training early, next month, at least residential training, I mean. And thereafter, that's local training, and they also have pre-games training out of the country. So that is our plan. We need to we are trying to get support from, of course, the Ministry of Sports, but we are not able to get all the support. It means that we have to find ways and means of doing that ourselves. How
much do you need for both?
For the preparation of the athletes?
For everything. Youth Olympics, Commonwealth Games.
There are several aspects of it. There's the training camps. We have if I'm not mistaken, the budget which was sent for the Commonwealth Games about 10 million or so.
$10 million?
No, please.
10 million cedis?
Yes, cedis.
Okay.
And then for the Youth Olympics, about 7, I think. So for everything. Okay. I mean, everything complete.
So everything is around 17 million cedis?
Yes.
That's roughly... Okay. Well, so how much of that money are you raising yourself? When I say you, I'm talking about the GOC.
Yes.
Raising itself.
First of all, why are you asking us how much money will government give us first?
No, because then we can situate the conversation in the proper context of what government and your other partners can support.
Let me put it this way.
Okay.
These are the national teams going to represent the country at multinational sporting events. Normally, traditionally, the government covers the cost for airfare, for per diem, for training camp, for apparel, and all those things. Government covers the cost. Now, we normally will have a conversation with government, and then we'll know that, look, yes, we'll cover all these, or we can cover a part of it for whatever it is. What we do is that we just support. For instance, government may have only enough money to cover training for maybe 4 weeks. But when we realize that the athlete needs more than 4 weeks, what we do is that we also raise money. That's why we also look for partners who can help us to raise money.
Have you had those conversations with governments already?
We've had preliminary, but we are meeting them again to finalize this.
Shouldn't you have had, especially knowing the attitude of successive governments towards athletes?
I know.
Shouldn't we have had clarity on where we are, what we're getting from governments, how much of it are we to pre-finance, and iron out the kinks?
It's because government, the ministry itself has to ensure that the money is in the budget, approved budget. So they do that, and then we all agree that, look, this is in the approved budget, so this is what it's going to do. But it's also possible that even though it's in the budget, when it comes to execution, we may have difficulties because of the processes leading to the release of the money and that kind of thing. So what we normally do is that we prepare for the inevitable, because we know that the funding, if the funding is not timely, it affects us, because the athletes complain. Because as I said, right now, they are in their winter season. Immediately after winter, they'll start preparing for summer programs. So we need to be ready for the athletes who are ready to train during that period. That's why we are having this conversation at this time.
Well, just for clarity, and if you could look into the camera and
yes,
because Ghanaians are interested in seeing their athletes preparing, showing up at the Diamond League and the big competitions to prepare for the World Championships and the Olympics, and in this case, the Commonwealth Games. How much do you need to prepare athletes for the Commonwealth Games, and especially with respect to the pre-tournament training, the training camp itself?
just the training camp, or if I'm talking about full preparation for the Commonwealth Games specifically, I need not less than $300,000. If I get $300,000 today, I can prepare the athletes properly, well, for the Commonwealth Games. They'll have training camps, they'll have competition, and they'll have medical support and all that.
So what is the size of the contingent you are looking to go to the Commonwealth Games with? About
between 35 and 40, depending upon a few variables. Like some of them may have to do qualifiers, but in terms of, we are sure of about at least 30 of them.
I'm sure you factored the cost of the qualifiers into everything else when you were mentioning the figure.
When I mentioned the figure, the qualifiers were not part of the preparation, training camps, and support. But if you add the qualifiers, you're looking at about $500,000.
Okay.
If you can get me a company that can support me $500,000, I'll be happy to.
You never know.
Oh, no, it's true. But and you see, look, actually, our position is that we want partners. We don't want a sponsor.
Okay.
We want partners. We want somebody who would say that, look, okay, I want to partner you between now and 2028 Olympics. What do you want? What do you want to do? How do you want to get there? And we show him our plan, how we want to get there. Every year, how much do you need? Okay, out of your budget, I can give you 100%, 70%, what it is. So that that partner can see that we started from point A with a plan to get to point Z, and we've gotten there. So that when that athlete is on the podium, getting a medal, or reaches a stage where you are happy with, you can proudly say that you contributed to that success. That's all we want.
Let's narrow the conversation down to the specific athletes. Will Deborah Akwa represent Ghana again?
That's a difficult question for me because I'm not the president of Ghana Athletics. What I know is that if Deborah Akwa is competing and training, Ghana Athletics chooses her as one of the athletes, we will support her.
I thought the answer was very unfair to her because you're not an outsider.
No, but you see, I don't control athletics.
Yes.
Athletics have their standards for their criteria for choosing.
But the current standoff and the fracture.
Is there a current? I'm not aware of a current standoff.
You're saying that you're not aware that Deborah Akwa's issues with the ministry and GAA have not been resolved?
I'm not aware, to be honest with you. I'm not. I am not. I'm honest. What I know and I've read is that Deborah Akwa, after the last Commonwealth Games, had a problem because she thought that either the GOC president of the ministry or the GOC of the ministry was supposed to cover a medical bill or something. That's all I know.
You're supposed to be aware.
No, I'm not.
Yes, because the contingent you are traveling with has to represent or has to reflect Ghana's best athletes.
Yes.
If at this moment there is an issue preventing the GAA from selecting one of those best athletes, you have to be concerned. And this is a running issue from 3 competitions. Is it over?
Actually, all the athletes who have issues with their federations that I'm aware of, I intervene, I try to find out what is happening. But there are 2 important things you must know. One, the federation is in charge of the athletes. The federation decides.
Yeah.
That's one. I try to influence, I try to ask, and if there's a way I can mediate, I do that. That's one. Number 2, the athletes also can have access to me. They have an athletes commission now that they can get through and get to me, that this is the problem, and we'll address it. But honest, look, Deborah Akwa, I thought you were going to ask about that, but Deborah Akwa is the last person. I've never known that.
Are you reluctant to speak to this because you don't want to offend anybody?
No, not at all.
Because I'm surprised you're saying you are not aware
that there's a standoff between and GA.
Yes.
No, I'm not. What I said, I'm aware of.
But you know her injury situation and the fact that promises were made to her about taking care of her treatment and all of that, and it didn't happen. You're not aware of any of that?
That's what I told you. I'm aware that she was in the media saying that there was a promise. I was either by GOC or ministry, I'm not sure, to take care of her injury, and it didn't work out. You can ask Mr. Bawa Hussein. One of the first questions I asked when we were talking about it was that, is Deborah Akwa still competing? And they told me, no, she's no longer competing.
But if she has not been treated, how...
And the reason they gave me for her not competing is not because she has not been treated.
Yes, but I'm saying that it is part of why we have gotten to where.
The reason they gave me for not competing is that she's one of those who's completed school, and therefore there are quite a number of those people who have stopped competing because they need extra income to be able to compete and also work and that kind of thing. That's all I was told.
Yeah, but as far as our relationship with her is concerned, there is an outstanding issue we have with her.
Has she told you there's an outstanding issue, or you are aware that there's an outstanding issue?
I am aware, and she told the whole of Ghana. We interviewed her.
But that was how many years ago?
Oh, that was last year.
No, what I remember was Commonwealth Games 2022.
Okay.
That's when I remember.
But this conversation was, I think, early last year about how she had to compete through the pain barrier.
Yes.
Promises were made that do make the sacrifice for us. After this, you will be treated. I'm only asking because you guys are the one in charge. If that has been resolved, I would only find out from her. But you guys are close. If it has been resolved, it would be GOC, GAA, and ministry that would resolve it. So I'm not asking the wrong person here.
No, as part of, you're asking the wrong person. The first person you should be, no, the first person you should be asking is GAA. Because so far as I am concerned, one, as I said, what I heard was that there was a promise from the GOC president.
That was not fulfilled.
And the GOC president denied it in the media, but he said he made that promise. And that's all I am aware of. GA, so far as I'm concerned, I don't know whether GA was even involved in this.
It was. I think that we had both Ben and then Bao Fuseni on the line for that.
And Bao was not also aware of that promise.
That conversation. Nobody wanted to accept
responsibility for it.
Yeah.
National athletes, for me, and that's my, let me make this very clear. Every national athlete that gets injured competing for Ghana must be taken care of.